everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike, welcome to my channel Floating in Dreams, where I talk about makeup and fashion just for funsies. This is my hobby that I do on the side, and today we are going to be talking about new makeup releases. I do this once a month, if you don't know, where I just look at some of the new releases and I select a few that kind of I find intriguing or that maybe you would like me to talk about, and then yeah, I'm going to, well, mainly roast them, because very often I'm very much like, not gonna happen. So I've got a whole list of things for you today, but before we get into it, I also wanted to welcome everybody who's new to this channel. I've had a lot of people joining this channel in the past 2-3 months because I was filming my declutters, so I'm pretty sure that's how most of you newbies found me. For the people who've been checking out my videos for a while, welcome back. And to celebrate all of these new people joining us, because yes, I hit 5K. I'm not sure if anybody else noticed. I did, but it took me a little while for me to sort of grapple some things together. But yeah, I thought that we could also throw in a giveaway in this video to celebrate the 5K. So if you'd like to stay tuned and know for like how to win, what to win, and all that good stuff, then just make sure you watch the rest of the videos, because I'm going to sprinkle it in somewhere in this video. But yeah, before we get to the makeup bits, I thought I could introduce myself and make sure that I say a little bit more about me so that you know who you're watching. So as I said, my name is Maaike, which is spelled M-A-A-I-K-E. It's Dutch. I am Dutch. I live in the Netherlands, and all of that definitely influences how I run this channel. As I already mentioned, this is my hobby channel. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm by no means a career YouTuber who gets lots of PR. Everything you see on my channel has been pretty much purchased with my own money. And I tend to, well, run this channel more from like a consumer perspective than most people, I think. I very deliberately do not seek out PR either, because I feel it puts a lot of pressure on me as a creator to A, do something with it, and two, to also say certain things about it. And that's why I have found in the past, whenever I have received PR, sometimes things didn't always go the way I'd want it to. But yeah, in my day-to-day life, my full-time job is to be an English teacher. That's why this channel is in English and not in Dutch, you could say. So yeah, that's what I do for a day job. And if you know anything about teaching or education, then you know it can be quite a stressful job. So this is my way of sort of unwinding and just doing something for fun, talking about makeup and fashion. It's just something I'm really passionate about. I don't have anybody really in my day-to-day life who likes makeup and fashion the way I do. So more than 10 years ago, I decided to make a blog because of that. And that then turned into a YouTube channel. I still blog as well as make videos 3 times a week. So there's content going live from me every single day on top of a full-time job. So yes, it's quite a lot, and that also goes into how I run this channel. You may have noticed, if you've seen any of my videos, that I tend to film using daylight. I don't do studio lighting because A, it takes way too much time to set it up, and 2, I find that color representation is incredibly difficult to get right if you are filming under studio lighting. I do not have the ability to have a fixed setup in my home where I can have these studio lights and a camera set up at all times. My home is for living, not for filming YouTube videos. So I'm just someone who grabs a tripod, slaps on a camera, put on some makeup, and I sit and chat about makeup with you guys. That's pretty much the premise of this channel. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Anything else that you would want to know about me? I don't know. I did a whole Q&A last fall, so I did it in 2 parts. So maybe I can link those 2 videos down below, because that's where I go over a lot of things already, if you would like to know more about me. But I just thought that I could introduce myself to all of those newbies out there. I'm only going to do this once. I know that nowadays, apparently, you need to introduce yourself and like give everybody the whole lowdown in every video you do. If you like what I do on here, then just subscribe. I make 3 new videos a week, and I just chat about mainly eyeshadow palettes, really. That's my thing. I'm turning into a little bit of a blush fiend, I have to say. And other than that, I'm just here to have a good time. So I hope you would like to join me for more. And for those of you who are returning viewers, you know what I'm all about. So let's just get cracking. Let's talk about some new makeup releases. All right, so I'm just gonna go to my Instagram and have a look at everything that I have saved in the past month. So I always do this like first Sunday of the month. I try to do a video like this. A new palette was announced by a brand that I hadn't heard of, the Color Pro Cosmetics 25A Berries Oh My palette. It's purples and blues with grays, so it looks nicely cool toned. So that you might think that may be something that you might want, but it's got a lot of different textures that I'm not really into. It says here that it's got 6 mattes, 2 metallics, 1 chrome topper, and a pressed flaky pigment. And then I'm like, no can do. If you don't know anything about me, you should know that I prefer shimmers over mattes. So if a, what is this, 12 pan, 10 pan palette only has 4 shimmers and 6 mattes, I don't think I need this. Plus, this kind of color story I already own. I have the Beauty Bay Book of Magic. I have the Hasina 2 from Blush Tribe. So this is not something that I necessarily need to get. Always heavily represented in these videos is ColourPop. They announced their Barbie, Malibu Barbie collection a couple of weeks ago. This was up on the website, and I don't know what it is with ColourPop these days, but for some reason, ColourPop just hasn't been releasing anything so far this year that I wanted to get. Like, usually they come out with 1 or 2 things every like couple of months, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I would like to try that. But so far, they just seem to be redoing stuff they've already done in the past. Like, they're becoming very repetitive, and with the amount of stuff they release, I feel that they should just do better, you know? So for me, ColourPop Malibu Barbie, they did then 30% off of their entire website for a while, and I sort of like put a shopping cart together to see how much I would potentially want to get. And I found myself just adding stuff to the cart for the sake of adding stuff to my cart. And I was like, you know what? If there's only 1 or 2 things I want to get from ColourPop, it's not worth having it shipped over to Europe because it gets really expensive with all the shipping and handling fees. So for me, I don't think I'll be placing any ColourPop orders anytime soon. It may not be until Black Friday until they've released enough that I might be interested in, even if they, then they should still have everything in stock, of course, which with ColourPop, you just never know. So we have Kara Beauty. They came out with a silver and gold Pro eyeshadow palette. So the Pro 15 Goddess Nem and Pro 16 Cleo Queen. That's what these are apparently called. They're $26.99 each. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I can buy Kara Beauty. Because they seem to be a US only brand, and if I need to get this shipped over, I mean, you know, I was going to talk about this really beautiful silvery cool tone palette. I look at this. Is it 30 shades? Yes, it's 30 shades. And I see the first 4 all the way on the left, and then like pretty much that entire top left corner. Plus, a lot of those grays just seem to be duplicates of each other. So for me, I'm currently wearing the Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop, in case you're wondering. And that's already, that's a similar kind of premise where it's like a lot of these repeat shades. And I just want those things to be more curated. So for me, this is not something I need. This is not something that I'm interested in because it's too big. If this were half the size, I would have been a lot more interested. The golden toned one with those oranges and yellows, I mean, can you just look at me? That's not gonna flatter me at all, so that's a no for me. Moving on then to, what's this collection? This is the Morphe and Coca-Cola collection. Apparently they did it again because they already did one in the past. We all know how I feel about Morphe. So let's move on from that one because we're not gonna get that. And then oh yeah, so the Shannon XO YouTuber here, she has her own brand, so XO Beauty, and she's come out with a whole new range of things. Again, I know of this brand, I've heard of this brand, but I'm not sure how to buy from this. Like, I'm pretty sure they do ship internationally, but again, it may just be really, really difficult for me to get a hold of. Plus, to be quite fair, I look at this and I'm like, this looks like every single neutral palette on the planet, so I don't really need that. And then it's got some glosses and some highlighters. I don't know, this looks like something I can buy from Catrice, and it would be less of a hassle and quite possibly much less expensive because the palette is $45. Catrice would do something like this for like 15 euros, so that's quite a different price point. Now, this release I already chatted about last month, but now we have the color story and all that. So the new Prince and Urban Decay collab has been released in the US. I have not been able to find any information of this being released internationally. So I don't even know whether this is out over here. I haven't seen Urban Decay posting about this on the Dutch social media sites. I am part of their Urban Decay Netherlands Facebook group. This has not been posted on there. So I'm not sure whether this is even coming. And even when it does come, I said in my previous video that it would need to include enough purples. And I feel that the second palette, there's two palettes. One has these like goldy tones, that's the palette that you see on the picture, but the swatches in the middle are of the second palette, and that has many more purples. But it just looks like another Naked Ultraviolet to me. And the other one with those golden tones, I know I would never use those yellows because I already have the Urban Decay Naked Honey. So you know what I'm just gonna do to get the look this gives is to get my Naked Ultraviolet and get my Naked Honey and fuse those together to create a look, and I'm pretty sure that I can do the same thing. So even if this Prince collection does come to the Netherlands, I will not be picking it up. I've decided that for myself. Charlotte Tilbury has come out with the Tinted Love Lip and Cheek Tints, which is like a liquid blush lip sort of hybrid kind of thing. I'm just really intrigued with what Charlotte has going on with a lot of her line, but at the moment I'm not prioritizing anything she does because I prefer to buy her stuff in store. I did place an order over the winter time from her official website. It was very successful. I got a freebie eyeshadow palette that I actually really enjoy, but this is just one of those things where I'm like, I would prefer to go out in store to just swatch these and see these. So I hope later in the year when things ease up even further and we go back to normal, that makeup shopping is going to be a little bit more enjoyable. Then BH Cosmetics came out with the Say It collection, and it has like these like exclamations on the front, and then it has these different color stories. And I looked at this and I was like, have we gone back in time? I don't understand the color stories of these at all. Like, it's another warm tone palette. It's another like neutral palette with 2 pops of green. We get a cool tone palette, but it's super smoky. And then we've got a purple palette that has more blues than purples. I don't know. Like, I know that a lot of people have been reviewing these, but I just look at this and I'm like, I know I would buy it for a video and then I would never use it ever again because these just don't intrigue me. Revolution Pro has come out with a completely new line also with body makeup. I mean, I could do with like a bit of self-tanner probably, you'd think, but I personally don't like that. Like I said this in a fashion video recently. I've just embraced the paleness. Like, I'm just gonna be Snow White for the rest of my life. I've accepted that. I don't tan. I don't have to fake tan it. I don't want to. Like, I just don't. I'm just going to appreciate my skin the way it is, and that's Snow White fair. So that's what we're gonna stick with. So no, but body makeup. Then Benefit has come up with a Hoola Contourist Matte Powder bronzer palette, and it seems to have just 4 shades of Hoola. Hoola Light, Hoola, Hoola Caramel, and Hoola Toasted. I can only use Who I Light from those, and I already own that as a single, so we're gonna skip that. Lethal Cosmetics has come out with a 6-pan eyeshadow palette collection called the Rights Collection. I just recently got myself some new Lethal shades, so I know I don't need these. I also bought 2 of their liquid multi-chromes. Those were very impressive when I swatched them. I haven't used them on my eyes yet, but I'm definitely like really curious to play around with these. I bought the pinky shade, which I think I can just like dabble over the lid and it will be fine. But I also got one of like the purpley, greeny, blue shifting ones, and whew, I think that will be stunning as a liner. But like I said, still have to play with it, so I'm not in the market for buying anything new from Lethal Cosmetics. I tend to buy from them typically like once a year or so. And great news for people who live in the Netherlands, Lethal Cosmetics is now sold at Douglas. We have some more stuff from ColourPop, their Sol Body collection. So Sol Body is the body line from ColourPop, and as Makeup Revolution, they've come out with body makeup. I stick to what I just said. I'm not going to use that. More ColourPop, the So Very Lovely collection, which I think, is this their summer collection? I think it is. It looks pretty with those peachy, pinky, lavendery kind of shades, but we've seen what I've done with most of my ColourPop palettes, which is to really give them a good reconstruct and just recreate the color stories to make it more to my liking. And that's probably why I'm not a fan of ColourPop eyeshadow palettes at the moment, because I look at this and again, I'm like, there are 3 or 4 shades that I would definitely want this palette for, but I don't want the entire palette. It seems to come with some blushes and highlighters and some lippy sticks, but I don't know. Like I've already mentioned, I'm a bit over ColourPop at the moment. Glisten Cosmetics has come out with some liners. These are liners, right? Are they water activated? I think they are. This is not the kind of product I need. I just don't. This is not something I can make work in my day-to-day life. Like what I'm wearing today is like quite typical for me. Yes, I like a colorful eye as well. I go for the blues and the greens and the purples. I love that too. But like this, a like smoky neutrally eye that is a bit more cool tone leaning with a red lip. Like if I could wear only one makeup look for the rest of my life, it would be something like this. So these liners, no. Oh, this I thought was brilliant. I don't understand the brand doing the collab, but come on, Edna Mode from Incredibles, like, she's the best. So I love a bit of Edna. I just don't understand the palettes. I don't understand the product that this comes with, and I don't understand why this is a Ciate London collab. Ciate is not the kind of brand that I would associate with Edna Mode. Like, just not at all. But yeah, and also Ciate is a brand that is not for sale where I live, so I would never be able to get my hands on this. Then again, I do love a bit of Edna, so props to Edna, but the release itself is a bit, Alright, and then we have the Midas Cosmetics and the Basic B Perception palette. And this was a palette when it was announced. I was super excited for it because if there is an indie makeup brand that I would like to try somehow, it's Midas Cosmetics. However, they are a US indie brand and they are just a little bit more expensive for me to buy because of all the shipping and handling fees. So I tend to buy from like 2 or 3 new indie brands a year to try the formula to see what they do. But then I do need to be like very interested in what they have to offer. And so far with Midas Cosmetics, I just haven't really found anything that I truly fell in love with. And this is the same. When it was announced, I thought it looked really pretty. And now I look at like the final color story that was announced and I was like, next, because it seems to have pressed glitters. It seems to have a lot of like really bright colors, which I do love a good bright, don't get me wrong, but I look at this color story and it just confuses me, so no can do. Next up is the NARS Orgasm on the Beach Summer Collection, and this looks like a lovely face palette. But like ColourPop, NARS tends to like repeating itself a lot, so I don't know, is this anything new? I don't know. So for me, This is not a must-have. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, if they do one of these face palettes that I would really, really love, then I might pick it up, but they all just seem to be doing exactly the same things. So, and I've really decluttered a lot of my NARS products over time because they weren't my favorite. So maybe we'll just pass up on it. Better for the bank balance. There is a new Kiko collection, the Dolce Diva collection. And Kiko does some lovely, lovely makeup, but these are probably quite big compacts again, because Kiko likes to do their oversized products. And it looks pretty, it's just that it looks like products I already own a million times over in my collection. So not necessarily must-haves per se, but if you want to try a European brand that you don't see a lot of people using, then Kiko is definitely a good one. They have some really lovely products. Not something I'll buy though. The Your Golden brand new mega palette from ColourPop. I look at this and I'm like, yep, I would keep 3 shades, and it's the 3 bluey shades. Those are the only ones that interest me. It's got some cool tones, which is lovely, but 75% of this palette is super warm toned. It looks like the Dream Street. Am I the only one? It looks like a larger version of Dream Street. And I already have Dream Street, so I don't need this. Natascha Denona has come out with a new cheek product, the Puff Paint Liquid Blush Serum. I'm really into cream and liquid blush at the moment. These look nice, but I do feel that the shades are very limiting. There's only 3 shades, it seems. And for me, yeah, all 3 of the shades are a bit like not it. So if she extends the shade range, I might like it, but no can do. Valentino has come out with a beauty line. I'm not sure if this was already out. Was this already out? I'm not sure. But Valentino has announced a new makeup line, if it was new, and I'm pretty sure some people will be buying this, but for me, like all the chains that these products have attached to them, I'm like, I get the idea. It's supposed to look like a clutch bag. But yeah, this has to be really, really, like really super duper great products for me to be able to like even be interested in this. Plus, this is one of those brands probably that it's going to take a while for it to become available in the Netherlands. And with makeup this expensive, I like to try it in a store before I buy it, for sure. Oh yeah, I thought this was cream shadow, but it wasn't. Ciate London has launched some more new products, but it's called the Velvet Cloud Weightless Lip Shadow. Okay? Like, if this were something that I could put on my cheeks, I thought it would be fun, but a lip powder? I don't know, it just doesn't sound appealing to me whatsoever. Not at all. So, I don't know, it just seems a bit gimmicky. Makeup Revolution and Soph have done a 3rd collab. I liked the original 2 palettes that they did in collaboration together just fine, but I ended up decluttering them because I wasn't using them. And even though this palette looks lovely, Makeup Revolution, like ColourPop, is one of those brands that I'm just a little over. I have decluttered a lot of their products from my collection because I just end up liking other products so much more. So there's a handful of products that I really, really love and swear by. I really like their green tea setting spray. I like their baked bronzer is really nice. And I've got a couple of their mini chocolate bar palettes. Those I love. But this, it just looks like something that would end up in a drawer and I wouldn't use it. Manny MUA has come out with a revamped edition of the Life's a Drag palette. It's now called Life's a Drag Facelift. I didn't get the original one because it didn't interest me. And the reason why it didn't interest me is because it just doesn't have enough shimmers. I do not need a palette with 9 matte neutrals, 9 matte bright shades, and then 3 shimmers. Like, why? Like, if this had some fun pops of shimmering colors, then I might have liked it a lot better. These neutrals look exactly like the Manny MUA palette that came out in collaboration with Makeup Geek years ago. So for me, Like, I get it. I get it from Manny's perspective, but I don't need this. There is a new product out from Made by Mitchell. This is a brand I haven't tried anything from yet. This is the blush bronze. So there's these liquid blushes that look really intriguing, and now there is a bronzer line as well. I've looked at these online and they seem nice. I don't know, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, ooh, yeah, that looks nice. And these are for sale from a Dutch retailer, so I could easily get my hands on it. It's just that they sell out so quickly that it's been really difficult for me to get my hands on because of that. But yeah, those liquid blushes look nice. But these bronzers do look really sort of orange in the lighter shades, so not something that I need to get. Next up is some new makeup from Spectrum. They have come out with the Pinch Pot, which seems to be a cream blush. Spectrum is another one of those brands that I hear quite a lot of people talking about their brushes, but I'm not sure if I can buy this from anywhere. I haven't really looked into them. But yeah, this, if I were to be able to get my hands on it, I might look into it. However, one of these Pinch Pops is $25, so that's quite a lot of money. So I'm not sure whether I'd be willing to pay that amount of money. Like, this is one of those brands that if I were able to travel and I would find this, I know that they're available in the UK. So if I were to go to London, I could probably find it somewhere. And then I could swatch it and look into it, but so far I don't think 2021 is going to see me traveling anytime soon, so that's not something I'm going to happen. Now, this is something I just wanted to quickly tell you, but June 18th is going to see the launch of the Sydney Grace and Temptalia collab. That's when it's going to go live, and I don't know. I'm still not sure whether I want to get any of these. They are $40 for a palette, and you can get all 3 palettes for $100. They do have a code, but I'm still not entirely sure. Like, some of the swatches I've seen, I'm super impressed with, and I know Sydney Grace can do good eyeshadow, but I'm not sure about the color stories. I'm not convinced. And then this was the collab this was the release that really had me like look at this, and I was like, what drugstore brand is coming out with this? But then it ended up being KVD Beauty. So KVD Beauty is coming out with the Planet Fanatic palette. This looks like something Wet n Wild would release, or e.l.f. And not like recent Wet n Wild and e.l.f., but like way back in the day, before they were like super duper good drugstore brands. So confusing. I don't like the color story. It's very random, and it's just like 6 rosy tones and then some warm tones with some greens. No. I already mentioned in this video the gold and silver palette from Cara Beauty, but they've also come out with a pink one. Guess what I think about this? Same as those two. No can do. This does seem to have some nice reds, but I really don't need this. Then Beauty Bay has launched some new makeup as well, the Utopia collection. It's got some different palettes. So this like 5-pan palette and an 8-pan palette with some pastels and some like bright neon-y kind of shades. For me, Beauty Bay has been very hit and miss, so I don't think I'll be snatching this up. More ColourPop, but this is an Ulta exclusive for now, so this is going to take a while for it to get to their website, I'm sure. But these are, I'm not sure what the collection is called, but they are doing one called High Tide. Now that is one where I'm like, yep, but it's very monochromatic. It is teals though, so that could be one that goes onto a wish list that if I find enough on a ColourPop website to buy at some point when they do another sale, I might do that. But yeah, that's intriguing. But then again, this is probably going to be one of those ColourPop palettes where I'm, again, going to keep like 3 or 4 shades and I'm going to ditch the rest. So I'm just not entirely sure whether I like this enough. I mean, those teals do appeal to me. They are very, very tempting, but not something I would run out and buy. Now, the only thing that has been announced where I'm really like, ooh, are the new Melting Color Bombs by Armani. I have been trying a bit of Armani this year. I bought their Luminous Silk foundation and the Neo Nude foundation at the start of 2021. I'm currently playing around a lot with the Neon Nude in my Shop My Stash, and I have to say I'm really liking it. And these color bombs, they look really, really pretty. They should launch in June. It remains to be seen when and whether these are going to come to the Netherlands. I have found with the Neo Nude, for instance, that they don't stock all the shades here. So, but I can actually buy this from Douglas in my hometown. So if these come out, I might be able to check them out. Then Huda Beauty has launched a new sub-brand. Is this part of the Huda Beauty line or is it just a new brand? I don't know. It's called Glow Wish. And I look at this and I'm like, I'm just not the target audience for this. It's got a new foundation, a bronzer, yeah, and that's about it so far. Maybe some highlighters. I don't know. This just doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't know. It looks like KKW Beauty, but then updated. And I don't like KKW Beauty either. I don't know. I just don't. Like, I look at these, like, the branding on this, and it's like, this is just not my vibe. Just not at all. Jaclyn Hill has come out with a new collection as well. I know that a lot of people like Jaclyn Hill. That's why she's able to even have a beauty brand in the first place. It's just that I'm one of those people who, like, when Morphe's 35O became a thing, I was like, Jaclyn who? Like, I had watched a few of her videos, but never long enough to really for me to keep watching. So I've never really understood the Jaclyn Hill hype. Like, never. I also, like, I did buy the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill vault, but that was because I liked the color stories in the vault, not because of Jaclyn Hill. So yeah, this, also her brand, I have not been interested in at all. Then, Norvina, ABH, they're coming out with the Volume 5 Norvina palette. I have the Volume 4, and it looks exactly the same. Some people were saying, like, ooh, this is lovely purpley. No, it's not. You essentially get like 5 purples in a 25 pan eyeshadow palette. It's mainly cool tone neutrals with some pinks. And I felt that the Volume 4 was also that. Cool tone neutrals with pops of pink and purple. So I think because I already own the 4, I won't need this. I just know I won't use it. In fact, I still need to play around with the 4. I haven't used it yet on my eyes. I've only swatched it. So, and it really doesn't come with a lot of shimmers either. It's a lot of mattes. So, no. And then a bit of skincare, because I like to talk about skincare too, but Hiram, who is someone who I do follow here on YouTube, is a skin influencer, you could say. Skinfluencer, yeah. And he's coming out with his new brand, Selfless by Hiram, powered by the incl. Now, the incl is a brand that I still want to try products from. I bought some of them this year, but I haven't put them on my face yet. I think it's great for him to have the opportunity to start his own brand. It's going to be available worldwide from Sephora, which I think is also really cool. And I first want to see reviews of this stuff before I even entertain the idea whether I might get it, because my skin can be very finicky. Then there is a new BH Cosmetics, what are these called? Gemstone palette, of course, because it's June. They're now doing Pearl, and I don't know what this color story has to do with pearls, because there is essentially only one pearly shade, and it's the glittery shade in the bottom right corner. Everything else is warm tones. Like, why? I don't get it. I haven't been interested in any of these gemstones, stone palettes so far, so no can do. Glamlight is coming out with a base. Is this a primer? An eyeshadow base. The icing base. Comes in different colors. I don't know. Glamlight was not that much, like I tried their birthday cake palette, that thing. Wasn't too impressed. So at this moment the brand is really not interesting to me, so I'm really passing up on Glamlight. Makeup by Mario is launching some new products. The Soft Sculpt collection. Also, Makeup by Mario is a makeup artist slash aesthetic that is not really up my street, so I'm going to be skipping that. Patrick Ta's One Size brand is coming out with a new brow product. This brand isn't even for sale where I live. It's for sale in US Sephora for sure, but not over here. So this is not something I even can buy, so I won't even entertain the idea of being able to buy this. And I'm really not in the market for new brow products, so no can do. Patrick Ta is a brand that I am intrigued by with some of the cheek products that he's coming out with. However, he's now coming out with an eyeshadow palette, and this is one of the reasons why I haven't really shopped from Patrick Ta, because it's a bit, for me, like a Mario. It's like all these like sculpty kind of things, and it's just not my thing. Plus, this is a lot of warm tones, and we get creams in the same palette. Listen, I don't care it's got a little cover. I really don't. I know I won't use these. Plus, these are way too deep for me. I think this is lovely if you have a deeper skin tone. It's just that for my pale skin, this is just going to look like a really hot, smoky eye no matter what I do. And then there's a new MAC collection that's coming out. The Botanic Panic Summer 2021 collection seems to be coming with some beautiful highlighters. But at the moment, like, I haven't bought highlighters since the start of the year. At the moment, I'm really not into highlighter. I'm really into blush, but highlighter, not interested, not at all. And this just looks like something I might already own. It's just limited edition packaging, it seems, not necessarily new shades. Dominique Cosmetics is coming out with cream blushes. Everybody is doing cream blushes, it seems. But these, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be my cup of tea. Like the shades, again, the shades just don't really appeal to me. Like an orange like that, I wouldn't wear. The pink is just a little too pink, and then that red is probably a bit too deep for me. So, no can do. And then the final thing I wanted to mention in this video before we get to the giveaway is the brunette eyeshadow palette from Melt that was just announced. Well, you can't really see because I got my hair tied up, but I'm a blonde. And as summer continues, my hair is going to be blonder and blonder and blonder as we speak. It kind of like dyes itself naturally from the sunlight. So I'm definitely not a brunette. So I don't think this palette is necessarily going to be my cup of tea. So far, we've only seen a sneak peek. And to be quite fair, I did just buy the Melt Mary Jane palette because it's cool tones. Well, I'm not sure how cool tone it is yet, because very often things look cool tone in the pan and then you put it on your eyes and it's not that cool toned anymore. Stone Cold Fox, anyone? But yeah, this is just, I mean, I understand it from the brand's perspective. It's just, do I really need an 8-pan brown tone neutrals palette with three shimmers and 5 mattes? Do I really? Like, I think I already have this a million times over in my collection, so I don't think I need this. Even though there's a couple of shades in here that definitely do appeal to me, but it's just, it's a bit too basic, So out of this entire list, the only thing that really makes me want to go to a store to pick it up is those Armani cream blushes, and everything else I'm like, not necessarily. But I promised I would include a giveaway with this video, so that's why we're going to get to that part right now. There will be 2 prizes, so 2 different winners to celebrate my channel reaching 5K. I will be running it here on YouTube, and that's why you need to do, well, yeah, 2 things. You need to subscribe and you need to leave a comment, but that comment needs to include a couple of things for it to count as an entry towards winning one of these two prizes. So let me first show you what you can win, and then I will tell you what you need to put in your comments. So subscribe, like, comment, you know the drill. And then you can be entered to win either. This is a brand new Natascha Denona Glam palette. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. So I thought I could give it away to one of my lovely subscribers. So I picked one up from Sephora Friends. This is brand new in its packaging. I've only opened it up to see if it didn't come broken. It didn't. So that's prize number 1. Prize number 2 may seem like a little bit more extensive, but price-wise, they end up being the same thing as the Natascha Denona. So Natascha Denona Glam is one prize, and the other prize is 9 different Catrice eyeshadow palettes. Namely, all 5 of the Pro Slim eyeshadow palettes. These are some of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes. If you don't know what these look like, again, they still have the plastics on, so I'm not sure if you can see very well. So that's what the nudes look like. The vintage Soul one is really pretty. It's got like cooler tones with like burgundies. It's a mix of like ABH's sultry and soft glam. That's how I would describe it. And then they also do this really pale one. So if you have very fair skin, this is really lovely too, with a pop of like a pinky purple vibe. And then there's also 2 warm tone palettes in that collection. So this is the peach one. This came out just now, and this came out last spring. This is the Neon Earth, and it's a bit spicier. So those 5, but that's not all, because you can also win all 4 of the Catrice 5 in a box mini palettes. And doesn't this look like a Natascha Denona palette? That's how they're styled. That's exactly how they work. It comes in 4 very neutral shades. These are really, really lovely quality. We have the soft rose look, which is one of my favorites. We also have the modern smoky look, which is the first one I tried, which is my ultimate favorite of these 4. And then we have the 2 more warmer tone ones. So we got the golden nude look, which is more of a neutral, and then the super spicy warm spice look. So one person can win the Natascha Denona, and one person can win all of those Catrice palettes. Because a lot of you are asking me, where do I find these Catrice things? Now I'm putting it in a giveaway so that hopefully one of you who has less access to Catrice can win it. Let's hope for that. So I really rate these very highly, so that's why I wanted to put them in a giveaway. So what are you gonna do in order to win either prize 1, the Glam palette, or prize 2, the Catrice palettes? Is very simple. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, like the video, and leave a comment down below in which you indicate which new makeup release you are very excited for. Step 1. Step 2, please include which of the 2 prizes you would like to win. And step 3, you need to leave me a way to contact you. Be it an email address, be it your Twitter handle, or your Instagram handle. Those are the 3 things, and that's what you need to look out for, yeah? So that's what I need you to do down, and I will make sure to also leave the giveaway information in the description box down below so you can read it at your own leisure. The giveaway will be open until the end of the month, and I will contact the winner via the way you have left me to contact you, and then I'm going to pick winners at random, and that's pretty much going to be it. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Have fun entering my little giveaway. I hope you would like to stay tuned for more content that I'm making for you, because I make 3 new videos a week. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. I hope you have a good Sunday. Have a lovely week, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.